Ed. You're welcome to the show.
Welcome. I am excited to be here. I don't know how you found me, but you found me.
I do. I surely do. Thank you very much for coming. Please, in 1 or 2 minutes, can you introduce yourself, please?
Well, first things first, again, I want to thank you for allowing me to share with your community. And I'm really feeling lots of gratitude to be part of such an incredible presentation and incredible sharing. A little bit about myself. I'm a member of an organization called Dad Central. And we're based in Canada, and it's the most trusted name in fatherhood in Canada for over 25 years. And for over 25 years, we've helped dads become more involved in their kids' lives. We also have the most successful parenting programs and tools in Canada and some in the world, and they're all validated by research. So they're validated by research. We're not just talking it, we're backing it with facts. And also at Dad Central, we help create time and we help dads create time, energy, and balance in their life, connect them with their kids and their partner, and understand their child. And we help dads learn how to be a great dad with free courses, guides, and master classes in fatherhood. And also, I co-host and co-produce with the lead of Dad Central, Drew Solon, the Dad Central Show, which is the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And we've been doing that since 2021. And I can give a little surprise. They've said okay for another year for this year. So we're really excited. So between Dad Central's efforts and the Dad Central Show, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. So that's a little about me. And I'm a firm believer that the better the father is, the better the family, the better the children, the better the world.
Wonderful. That's exactly what we're after in this forum. Please now start for us. Yeah. I know your topic is about 5 challenges, five of the biggest challenges for today's dad. Please, the floor is yours. Can you tell us, please?
All right. Well, make sure you jump in once in a while because I don't want to be sharing for the next few
Sure,
minutes on my
sure,
own.
sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm you and I were walking together arm in arm, and the audience. So we're
Okay.
starting the race together, and we're going to
Wonderful.
finish together. Is that fair?
Wonderful. Thank you. Go on.
All
I've
right.
got my pen ready.
All right. I hope others have their pen or their tablet or their phone taking notes. Here we go. Let's
Yes.
have some fun. Let's have some fun and let's learn together.
Wonderful.
Before we go further into the conversation, I just want to say that fatherhood today is more complex than ever.
Hmm.
Dads face unique challenges, but with the right tools and mindset, they can thrive and lead their families confidently.
Hmm.
I just want to say that again. Fatherhood today is more complex than ever. Dads face unique challenges, but with the right tools and mindset, they can thrive and lead their families confidently. So let's get to our first point here. And the way I'm going to go through each challenge is I'm going to introduce a challenge. I'm going to share why it's a challenge. I'm going to provide some strategies and then a takeaway.
Great.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
We're
right,
in.
100%.
Hmm.
Number one, and these are no specific order, but balancing that word work, family, and personal time. That one of the most frequent words we hear from dads is balance. I'm challenged balancing. And many dads, just like many of us, struggle with work-life balance. And I got to the point, does work-life balance even exist? That's another conversation. Maybe Rachel will have me back. That's a whole other conversation. And also, too, society puts a lot of expectations on fathers to be providers. And
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that. But there is a downside with that. Sometimes it's at their expense of being at home. I'm sure we know many fathers, male caregivers, dads that are working so many hours, but they're not at home. I don't know if you want to jump in, but if you
Yeah.
want to, if you
Yeah.
want me to continue.
Continue because what you are saying is just a fact. That is the major problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now some practical strategies for dads. Set clear boundaries between work and family time.
And
Very, very important.
what do you mean by that?
I'm going to give you an example.
Good.
I was doing a session with a group of dads about a year and a half ago, and I was sharing about work-life balance. And I said to the fathers, there actually was some grandfathers there too. I said,
Mm.
how much time do you get to spend with your grandchild or your child? One guy says, I do it every day. I go, I hardly hear that. Every day?
Mm.
And I said, okay, what time during the day do you spend with your son? Oh, 11 o'clock at night. I go, 11 o'clock at night? I asked him more, and he works an afternoon shift. So he finishes work about 11 o'clock, gets home around 11 o'clock, and he takes his son out in the car for a drive.
Mm.
And I said, okay. I said, can you prove that? Let alone he put up his cell phone and showed me a video from the night before.
Right.
So setting boundaries between work time and family time is critical. Very, very critical. And a lot of people say, well, how much time? I
Mm.
would say prioritize quality time over quantity time.
Mm-hmm.
Small, meaningful moments matter. We offer a course called Super Dad, Super Kids. And one of the themes of that, and it's a parenting course for fathers, by the way. One of the things we say in that course is it's not how much time you spend
Right.
with your child, it's what you do with the time you spend with your child. And another point when it comes to strategies in regards to balancing work, family time, and personal time,
Mm.
self-care isn't selfish. We encourage dads, fathers, male caregivers to make time for personal growth and well-being. A lot of times we emphasize so much on dads. Absolutely. But before they were a dad, they were a man. They didn't have kids. And
I'm
one of the
sorry,
questions,
Ed, to cut cutting.
yeah,
Before we move on to the self-care, because I could see that we're going to another topic, on that quality, because you lay emphasis on the quality of time you spend rather than long time or every day. Can you just give us maybe two, three examples of what you should be doing at that quality time? Because I might be father might be with a child, but you are all busy on your phone. Everyone is busy on the and you say yes. So if you can give the audience maybe two or three examples of what they ought to be doing, and I know communication is one, but
yeah.
from your
Okay, I'll give you a real life example. A number of years ago, I was assisting a father because I don't like saying working with, I'm assisting a father and his family.
right.
And he came in and he said, I don't know what to do with my kids. I have limited time with them. Now, I don't think I'm a genius. I just said, have you ever asked your kids what they like to do?
Mm.
And he said, no, I've never have. I said, you know, I gave him a suggestion because I don't like to tell people what to do. Because if you tell someone what to do and it doesn't work, you better have good insurance, right? So I make suggestions and I let people make those decisions. So
Mm.
he said, you know what? Let me try that out.
Mm.
He came back in a week. He comes into the office, smiles.
Wonderful.
I'm going, why are you, what's, I'm so happy to see you smiling. Why are you smiling? He said, well, I thought about your suggestion. I acted on it. And I asked my kids what they like to do.
Mm.
And they said, well, I like to play Nintendo and all that. I said, okay. And he went out, bought some Nintendo, and spent a whole weekend
Wonderful.
playing with his kids,
Mm-hmm.
asking, our kids are intelligent. And also
Yes.
watch what they do,
Mm-hmm.
see what brings them joy, and see how you can be part of them bringing joy. Because when you're playing with your kids, one of the best ways for dads, fathers, male caregivers to learn about your child or children, play with them.
Wonderful. Yeah.
It's a simple but effective way of getting knowledge about your child and children. You'll find out what they're good at, what they're not good at, what their limitations are, and you're with them. You're enjoying the journey with them.
I think this can also apply to their wives as well. You remind me to saying this. When people keep on telling you, I love you," but you love him in your own way. Do you even care to love me in my way? So that will really resonate better than. So I got what you're saying. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. And so the key takeaway, sorry, for the balancing work, family, and personal time is dads don't have to do it all.
No.
Balance is about being intentional with time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Time and energy.
Right.
One of the things I say all the time to in conversations with dads, fathers, and a lot of people who are close to me is don't just manage your time, manage your energy.
Manage your energy. Wow, that's a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
next up, a big challenging one too, navigating discipline and setting boundaries. And we mentioned a little bit about boundaries before, but we're going to go a little bit deeper dive. And
Mm.
that's another challenge that we have, and I hear about with a lot of fathers. Many fathers struggle to find a balance between being firm
Hmm.
and being compassionate.
Wow.
Now, for everyone out there, for most of us, the way discipline was when we were growing up is not that effective these days,
No, not at all.
right? And it's a challenge. It can be very challenging because I've had in groups of fathers when we do some sharing together, you hear different ways that they were raised
Hmm.
and they bring different experiences. And some of them align with today, some of them don't. And it's always a challenging piece. Discipline. Hey, even for us adults, discipline can be challenging.
Yes, you're right.
100%. So
Mm-hmm.
here's some practical strategies for dads, fathers, and male caregivers. Shift from punishment to guidance.
Shift from punishment to
Guidance.
guidance.
So you
Wow.
want use discipline to teach, not just correct. So when
Okay.
you're in a moment of having to give out discipline, yes, tell them it's wrong, but tell them why it's not good.
Right.
Why? You can discipline and say, you're not supposed to do that. Actually, I'll give a story that isn't the greatest, but it's to show this in a good way. Uh, I was at an office at a fatherhood center. Father came in with his child. Well, he came in with his child. By the time he sat down, he said, "Do you know where my son went?" I go, "No." And he was going crazy because his child has been like a 3-year-old child, 3 or 4-year-old child.
Mm.
He went outside looking, couldn't find. So he is just going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 minutes after he came back in and sat down, lady came in
With a
with
child.
his son. What did he do? He took the son aside. This is a 3-year-old child.
Mm.
And he yelled at that
Wow.
child for about
Oh.
5, 6 minutes.
Oh no.
Not good.
No, no, no.
Not good.
Mm-mm.
And I pulled the father aside and said, I suggest you shouldn't have done that. And he goes, why? He says, you are making your child, even at 3, 4 years old, afraid of you.
Mm.
I suggested that next time something like that happens, lower your voice and to explain why that's not good. Because maybe at 3 or 4 years old, maybe the child can understand. But that was a situation where he yelled and teached, but did nothing about correction.
Mm. Wow.
My next practical strategy in this area is set clear, consistent boundaries and involve kids in discussions about rules.
Okay.
So you want to set clear, consistent boundaries and involve kids in discussions. So have those discussions about what's right, what isn't right, and explain it to them. And so there's an understanding between yourself and your child.
Mm.
And then finally, dads, fathers, and male caregivers. And people say, you include all those things? Yes, because there's dads, there's fathers, and then there are men and males who do not have a biological relationship with that child, but they're raising them. So
Mm.
I want to make sure that that's inclusive. But
Mm.
the final practical strategy here is model the behavior you want to see.
Exactly.
Kids learn more from what you do than what you say. And
Mm.
remember, they're always watching you.
They are. They are.
Right?
Yes.
Right? You
Yes.
know, it's like I love music, and there's an old song by the group called The Police. I'm not gonna sing, but there's a
Mm.
song called Every Step You Take, Every Move You Make. And the next line is I'll be watching you.
That's the children.
That's the children, right?
Yeah.
That's the children.
Yeah.
So the key takeaway for this area when we call talking about navigating discipline and setting boundaries is discipline is about connection.
Wow.
not control.
No.
Teaching kids responsibility starts with a strong, trusting relationship. So I would say the more, the stronger the relationship is with your child, dads, fathers, male caregivers, the less you have to be concerned about discipline.
Hmm. You're
And
right.
the funny thing is, not only with father child relationship, even as adults,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Any questions you have on that section?
I think that that is just simple, straightforward. Is
Good.
yeah, you get more when you talk to them with a low voice. You get them to listen. But what I find out, the moment you start yelling or shouting, screaming, you turn them off. They are completely off. So whatever you're saying doesn't go in. So so you're right. Yeah, yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
and it's no different.
No,
As adults, do you like people that are yelling and screaming at us?
not at all.
Why would a child,
Mm, mm,
right?
yeah.
Okay, next up,
Mm-hmm. The third one. Oh, screen time. Screen
right?
time. Mm-mm.
Managing screen time and technology. First things first, it's unavoidable in parenting today,
Since COVID.
even more so.
Mm,
And I'm sure we have all seen children. The other day I saw a child 3 years old, 2 years old have their own tablet.
mm,
It's unavoidable.
mm,
And the challenge that many dads have is they don't know how much screen time is too much screen time. They don't know. They don't know. And we're getting more of those questions to ourselves and our team. Screen time, screen time. How do I manage it? First suggestion, set screen time limits and enforce tech-free zones.
okay.
For example, if the family's having dinner, have a basket, put all the cell phones and tablets away.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Because remember, you as a dad, father, male caregiver, that child's watching you.
Yeah.
No phones at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Have some times during the week where there is no phones. If the
Mm-hmm.
child comes home from school or when you get home, how was your day? Get the phone out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Have that one-on-one FaceTime, real FaceTime, or even if you have to do the screen time, but use technology to your advantage,
Mm-hmm.
right? Also, dads, fathers, male caregivers, be a healthy role model yourself. Are you on the tablet? Are you on your computer? Are you on your laptop? Are you on your cell phone too much?
Mm.
If you're on it all the time, what do you think your child or children are going to be? Well, daddy, you're always on it,
So why not me?
right? Duplication,
Yeah. Yeah.
duplication. Then finally, encourage outdoor activities, hobbies, and face-to-face interactions. Depending how the weather is, like right now, I'm speaking to you from Toronto.
Mm.
We have had 20 inches of snow over the last week, right? But I still see dads going out there, outdoor activities with their kids. I was
Wonderful.
speaking with a dad yesterday and he said, I'm taking my kids out tobogganing. Get them involved in outdoor activities. Don't involve the screen. If it's sports, if it's hobbies, whatever you can find to show them the value of face to face interactions.
Okay.
Really, really important
I'm not sure
because,
if this is the right time to ask this question. Maybe
go
also I
ahead.
should let you finish all the five because you've spoken about three challenges now. What if, like a teenager, you have a teenager to tell a teenager boy, 15, 16, 17, to can you drop your phone and let us, it can be challenging. Don't you think so?
It can be, but then you want to teach and educate saying, hey, the reason why I'm asking is I'd like to find out what's going on. I want us to develop a better relationship. You want that human interaction. I know they're very engaged and it's a big challenge. Hey, I'm not saying it's always going to work, but this is where you start. And again, technology is always changing, developing that relationship with your child at an early age,
Hmm.
right? But it's never too late to start saying, hey, I can we agree on having 15 minutes together each day, just chatting, etc. Again, they may, if you're best to have dinner together, Have that as a time with no phone. Something's better than nothing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Just start. Even if it's 2, 3 minutes, just start. Repetition, repetition, and it will grow.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's enjoyable, and say at the end, say, hey, you know what, Mandy, I really enjoyed our conversation together. Can we do this more often?
Yeah.
Ask a question. It's beneficial to both of you.
Right, you're right. Especially when you are asking them, especially if you're asking them, okay, can you give us the time we should do this? Well, as you've rightly said earlier on, putting it across to them that, okay, you decide when is the best time you think we should have this
What and not,
conversation,
not and it can be challenging too, but say, hey, what is something that we can do together? Hey, can we go out for dinner? Can we
Mm,
go for something? Can we go for ice cream? Can we go for a walk?
mhm.
Find out what things they enjoy that don't involve a screen.
Wonderful. Okay,
Even if
good.
it's for 3 or 4 minutes, ask questions, be observant, see what they enjoy, what they gravitate to.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah.
No problem. So the
Oh,
takeaway here is the key takeaway:
mhm.
technology should not be should be a tool, not a distraction.
Good.
Technology should be a tool, not a
Not
distraction.
passion.
And dads guide their kids toward healthy digital habits by leading by example.
Mm-hmm.
I come
Mm-hmm.
back to that point, example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good. 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 Good.
All right. Next up, building strong emotional connections with your kids.
Mm.
One of the biggest challenges in this area is I was not brought up to express my emotions openly.
Okay.
And many dads had fathers that basically do this, do that, do that. Personal insight: my father was a public school teacher for 38 years in the same public school,
Wow.
which is a great achievement. But there were times in our relationship when I was younger where I felt more like a student than his son. I had to learn and we had to grow to be
Mm-hmm.
able to express emotions openly.
Mm-hmm.
Another challenge here too is society a lot of times portrays dads as secondary caregivers rather than emotional anchors,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ways you can get around this or overcome this: be present, listen actively, and validate your child's feelings. So when you're listening to your child, so let's take an example. Say Bob has a son, Johnny. When Johnny is talking to Bob, no interruptions, facing eye to eye contact,
Mm.
and also repeating what was said. So Johnny says to his dad, Bob, you know something? I want to go to the hockey game tonight. Oh, is that true? So you want to go to the hockey game tonight? Is that right? Validation shows that you're listening, mirror and matching.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Another point here is showing vulnerability.
Okay.
You want to let your kids see that emotions are normal and healthy. One of
Mm.
the big ways of doing that is, I'm sorry.
Wow.
We have to realize that our behaviors that we are showing around our children can potentially be the ones that they're going to mirror when they get older.
Definitely. Yeah.
Myself, my dad raised me, said, I don't care if you're a bum in the street as long as you have manners and respect.
Oh.
So he taught me that manners and respect were key, and that he apologized to me when he didn't act properly towards me.
Yeah, I think that's similar to what I've heard people saying that when you said your dad taught you about manner and respect, because in life, your attitude determines your latitude. You like it or not, wherever you are, young or old, your attitude determines your latitude. So.
Yeah, I just said to add on that. And when we had our initial conversation, I think your initial email that you sent to me, one of the words you said, one of the things you said was, "You love my energy." I said, "Wow."
Oh.
We want to, as much as possible, as dads, fathers, and male caregivers. I know it can be challenging at times.
Mm,
Bring positive energy.
mm,
I know and you do, you don't have to, dads, fathers, and male caregivers, you don't have to be perfect all the time. You just have to be perfect
mm,
at the right time.
mm. And say sorry when you made a mistake.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, they're paying attention to you. If you're not saying sorry, they're going to say, well, my dad did something wrong. He didn't have to apologize to me. So
mm,
that means I don't have to apologize to people.
mm, mm.
Another thing, too, is create traditions or rituals.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
If you have younger children, bedtime talks,
Okay.
maybe reading at night, weekend outings to strengthen bonds. Growing up, almost every weekend, our family would be out with other families getting together,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
showing families,
Family links. Yeah.
family links, right? So strengthening those bonds, find those things. Again, they don't have to be big things, they can be small things
Mm-hmm.
to create a stronger bond between you and your child or children.
Wonderful.
And then the takeaway for this is emotional connection
Mm.
is the foundation of a strong father child relationship. Presence matters more than perfection.
Presence matter more than perfection. Wow.
Presence matters more than perfection.
Mm.
And then our final one,
Yep.
believe it or not,
Doing that.
overcoming self-doubt and societal expectations.
Is that not to do with mindset?
Well, it can be because many dads feel pressure to meet expectations that are unrealistic,
Yes.
right? They want to be super dad.
Nah, no one
But
is
then in
perfect.
combination with that,
Mm.
many dads have a fear of failure or compassion with other fathers,
Mm.
and it can create doubt.
Yeah.
What we need to do, we need to redefine success. Again, focus on progress, not perfection. Build a
Mm.
support system. We encourage, especially with our organization, Dad Central, we have a group called Dad Mentors. We meet twice a month. We share our highs, our lows, our challenges, and we have a body of fathers who's like a support group. So
Mm-hmm.
connecting with other dads and parenting communities strongly, organizations like yours.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I say all the time to people, give yourself grace.
Mm. Mm.
Fatherhood is a journey of learning and growth.
Mm.
Have patience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey, it's not a race,
No, no. It's not a race.
right? It's not a race.
Mm-mm.
We were speaking with a gentleman yesterday who's been engaged in the fatherhood scene or environment for 35 years. And we asked him, what's one suggestion you give to dad? Says, be patient.
Mm.
Be patient. It's a
Mm-hmm.
journey that not only your children are going through, but you're going through.
Mm.
And the takeaway here is great dads aren't perfect. Sorry, they ain't perfect,
Mm.
but they're intentional. Confidence comes from learning, adapting, and showing up consistently.
Wonderful. Can you give us that recipe again? Confidence comes from
Learning,
learning,
adapting, and showing
adapting.
up, adapting
Yeah.
and showing up consistently.
Showing
So
up
consistency
consistently.
is a big part too. Being
Wow.
making sure, again, this gentleman who we were speaking with yesterday, he does a lot of talks about fatherhood all around the United States.
Mm.
But he told us that when he is doing a talk, he always has his phone with him. And if he sees a text message or a call coming from either his partner or his kids, he interrupts the talk and he takes that message.
Wonderful.
So he is consistently there with them, whether it's physically or when they're away. And if they want to reach out to him, he's there for them consistently.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So they
He's
are
there,
kind of the priority, yeah, over work.
right? Right. Let's do a recap. The 5 challenges: balancing work, family, and personal time. One,
Mm-hmm.
navigating discipline and setting boundaries. That's two. Next
Mm-hmm.
up, managing screen time and technology.
Mm.
Then building strong emotional connections with your kids. And then finally, overcoming self doubt and societal expectations.
Thank you, Hud. Wow, wonderful. Wow,
So that,
wow. Thank you,
and
thank you, thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. And I want to remind fathers, dads, and male caregivers, you're not alone
No,
unless you choose to be, because parenting is a journey of growth.
thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we end the episode, please can you share with the audience the free gift you've got for those that have
Yeah.
completed the
So I'm
VIP?
going to share with Rachel a link, and it's a download called The 7 Steps to Stop Yelling and Promote a Calmer, More Positive Parenting Approach.
Thank you, thank you,
So
thank
that
you.
is from our audience. And if you want to get in touch with Dad Central, we have, and I'll be giving this information to the event website, www.dadcentral.ca. We also, if you want to watch any of our shows, the Dad Central Show, which is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care, and again, reached out over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around since 2021. That's dadcentral.ca/podcasts. And if you want to email us, just go on the website and check us out. And I think that's it. I don't know if there's anything else I can
Wow.
share with you.
Thank you, thank you. Please, 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 Ed, I'm not putting you on the spot. We are
Uh-oh.
going to have you next time. Please, we still need more information from you. Nevertheless, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for what you have passed on, and I believe the fathers in the house, we learn greatly from this. And plus the free gift, we like to say thank you. On behalf
Well,
of Confident Parental Boss, we say thank you, and we hope to see you another time. Yes, go
I
on.
just want to add one or two more things. First of all, thank you for reaching out.
Thank you. Thank you.
100%. And if there's anything I can do to help elevate fathers, male caregivers, dads, and their families, remember, because
Yeah.
the better the father, the male caregiver, and the family, and the father, male caregiver, and the dad is, the better it is for families. And research shows this.
Mm-hmm.
Research shows that the more engagement that they have with their kids, the better potential family outcomes there are.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
So I will end off with this to everybody. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to give yourself grace. 2 more things. If you're not making money, make history, but try to do both. And then finally, make it better.
Thank you very much. We're happy to have you. I'm afraid, audience, we would like to end it here, and we hope to meet you some other time in the next episode. For now, bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.